Thursday, April 11, A Legacy of Love. Read John 13, verse 35 and 1 John 4:21. What do these passages reveal about Satan's challenge against the government of God in the great controversy? What do they tell us about the essence of genuine Christianity? John 13, verse 35. By this everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. And 1 John chapter 4 and verse 21. And he has given us this command: anyone who loves God must also love their brother and sister. Love was the norm of Christian communities in the first few centuries. Tertullian, an early Christian theologian, claimed, "It is mainly the deeds of a love so noble that led many to put a brand upon us. See, they say, how they love one another." That's from chapter 29 of In Apology, translated by S. Thelwell, and is available on the list in the internet. It was accessed in October 10, 2022. One of the greatest revelations of God's love was demonstrated when two devastating pandemics plagued the early centuries around AD 160 and AD 260. Christians stepped forward and ministered to the sick and dying. These plagues killed tens of thousands and left entire villages and towns with scarcely an inhabitant. The unselfish, sacrificial, caring, loving ministry of Christians made a huge impact on the population. Over time, thousands and eventually hundreds of thousands and then millions in the Roman Empire became believers in Jesus during these two epidemics. Love, outgoing concern, and organized, selfless care of the sick and dying created an admiration for these believers and the Christ they represented. Rodney Stark's The Rise of Christianity is a modern historical narrative portraying these historic events in a new and improved light. In it, he describes how during the second epidemic, the whole Christian community, which was still heavily Judeo-Christian, became a virtual army of nurses, providing the basic needs for the suffering community to survive. He writes, "At the height of the second great epidemic, around AD 260, Dionysius wrote a lengthy tribute to the heroic nursing efforts of local Christians, many of whom lost their lives while caring for others. Most of our brother Christians showed unbounded love and loyalty, never sparing themselves and thinking only of one another. Heedless of danger, they took charge of the sick, attending to their every need and ministering to them in Christ, and with them departed this life serenely happy. For they were infected by others with the disease, drawing on themselves the sickness of their neighbours, and cheerfully accepting their pains." That's from The Rise of Christianity, published by Princeton University Press in 1996, and from page 82. And so to finish today, what is the obvious message for us here? How do we learn to die to self so that we too can manifest this same selfless spirit? It's not easy, is it? This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind. Sponsored by the Sabbath School Department and distributed through Hope Channel Australia, this podcast is also redistributed by Hope Channel Germany, Christian Record Services for the Blind. It is also available on SoundCloud and through multiple podcast distributors, including Apple iTunes. And you can listen and watch at the same time on YouTube. Remember, God is always faithful.